Morning guys, I'm the Tech Prepper. First, I hope everybody's doing well. And the reason why I'm doing this video is that I'm on vacation and I have not been to the range in about 6 months, maybe 8 months. And I wanted to go test my gear and get some practice. So I thought I would kind of take you through my loadout and what my plans are for the range tomorrow. So let's talk about mission objectives. So first, the reason why I'm going is I have been carrying almost every single day, like I had been when I was in Arizona previously. But my wife is also starting to carry now, and that's not something she used to do. So first we need to get her trained up, have her get some practice on range, be safe with her pistol, and be proficient with her pistol. I just need the practice, and I guess I could also work on safety if that's a thing. Second thing we're looking at upgrading her pistol to the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ, just for ease of racking. Right now she's carrying a Ruger LCP, the first generation of the LCP. And then we're going to take her from 380 to 9mm. The other thing I want to test too is the range we're going to is my home range from when we lived in Buckeye. It's about a 60-mile drive, and right now my EDC has my handy talkie, but I don't have it programmed for that area anymore. I just have it programmed for my local repeaters. So I want to test on the range or in the parking lot whether I can program manually my yaesu FT60R, because that area has very limited or spotty coverage. So I want to test the radio, and then I have a full printout of all the frequencies for all the repeaters in Arizona. So I want to basically be able to take this hard copy and program the repeater in the area. I know that I could use things like Repeater Book, but I want to use this as a dry run to test out a remote location and see if I can actually get on a repeater. Alright, so with that out of the way, the first thing I do the night before is I typically pack my gear and I clean all of my firearms. So I know everything is in good working order before I hit the range. I also have a checklist for my packing list, so I really don't forget anything. And I have a couple of different checklists. It really depends on what type of range I'm going to, and I primarily go to 3. One is an indoor range, which I try to avoid at all costs due to safety issues. I don't care for indoor ranges, but I have a different checklist of gear that I bring with me. The second one, where I'm going tomorrow, is an outdoor range. I'm going to be going to the Joe Foss shooting complex in Buckeye, Arizona. And then the third is when I go shooting in the desert when we don't have a fire warning restrictions in shooting. And that is a very different setup because I do have to bring all of my targets. So for tomorrow, we're going to go to an outdoor range. It'll be a public facility. In terms of my carry options for the day, I always wear a really quality heavy-duty belt. I think this is a pretty old belt from High Speed Gear. It's got the Cobra buckle on it, so if you need to go to the bathroom, it's really quite nice. You just unclip this and you're good to go. And I'm going to make sure we're safe here, so we're going to clear it. There is no magazine, so we're clear. So I am going to bring my full-sized pistol with me. When I go shooting at this particular range, they do allow us to keep a firearm holstered and loaded. So that's my preference when I go to these ranges, because everybody else is carrying, and I want to make sure that I also have something on my person. And then I haven't shot my full-size SIGSauer P226 SAO in a while, so I want to make sure that I do run this, since this is my primary home defense weapon. On my belt, I carry the Taco double-decker. We are giving one of these away as an option for our giveaway that's ending next Tuesday. But the way that I like to run it when I go to the range is I actually carry a second full-size pistol magazine for my SIGSauer, and then I also like to carry a cat tourniquet in what typically is reserved for the pistol magazine. And this usually rides on the left-hand side of my belt. And then the last thing I like to carry on my person is just my Leatherman mutt. And the mutt is really nice, especially if I'm shooting an AR-15 platform. This has most of the tools that I need. So it's nice to have some tools because you don't want to ruin your range day activities if you need to work on something. All right, guys, so that's it for the actual on my person, what I carry. I also take out of the Jeep my trauma kit. So this has another cat tourniquet. It has chest seals for entry and exit wounds. It has packing gauze, an Israeli bandage, trauma shears. Not much in the way of a boo-boo kit. I do have another smaller Altoid tin with that in the car. But this actually goes with me onto the range itself, just in case. Alright guys, so you're going to get the top half of my body cut out. So this is my preferred range bag. I've been using it now for about 2 years. It's from a company called GPS, GP, or G.P.S, and this is their tactical range backpack. And I do like this quite a bit. In fact, I have gifted at least 3 of these. Every time I go to the desert or the range, somebody always asks about that pack. So what I like about it is that if I'm going pistol shooting or even rifle shooting, I can basically wear this on my person and not really have a whole bunch to carry in my hands. So we'll start with the top. It has a nice grab handle at the top. It does have pretty heavy duty stitching, so I haven't had an issue with any of the any kind of wear where I thought that an attachment point may come loose. So we have a cinch strap at the top. We've got room for a morale patch. I've got my NRA range safety officer patch here. I do work at this range. I do volunteer every once in a while. I haven't since I returned to Arizona. Yeah, nice place for your patch. On the outer compartment, it's really quite nice. You have room and fully labeled all the compartments. So we have an eyeglass or eye pro container. So I've got an extra pair of ballistic glasses. This is typically for a shooting companion. I will be taking my wife tomorrow, so she'll be using this. I typically just use my normal prescription sunglasses. I didn't have much room in the pack for everything I wanted, so this is the Shield Arms 15-round magazine for my Glock 43X. That's one of the other mission objectives for tomorrow. Is I want to go ahead and run these mags, and we'll see how they perform. I'm not going to carry anything until I at least run a couple hundred rounds to them, and that includes all the accessories like the magazine. There's a zippered compartment. I got a few things here. A small field notebook. I think this is from Moleskin. I did have to reserve my bench for tomorrow, given the whole lockdown situation. They're not doing any kind of contact in the store, so I have 2 reservations for tomorrow. And then I have a small wallet here that has my Arizona Pistol Rifle Association ID, and then I've got some free shooting passes and things like that. So just some admin goodies. It does have room for a couple of earbuds or extra ear pro. I actually don't use the small ear protection. I use the over the ear instead. So coming around, we have 2 zippers at the top. In the top compartment, I carry my ear pro. I have 2, one for myself, one for my wife. And then I also have I'm going to butcher this again, the uplula. I love these for loading my pistol magazines. This works from 380 up to, I believe, 45, and it really saves your hands, helps with speed of loading, and allows you to easily get that last round in the magazine, because that can be kind of tight. All right, there's another compartment on top, and this is typically where I put my ammo for the day. Tomorrow, since we're only going to be shooting about 3 pistols, maybe 4, I just have 150 rounds of 9mm. That's all we're going to be shooting tomorrow. And then I also have my safety jacket just in case I want to volunteer a couple of hours on the range and work the line. All right, so that's it for the upper compartment. I actually can fit quite a bit more of ammo in there. If I go rifle shooting, I typically have another 100 rounds of rifle ammunition in the top pouch. And this is the part that really makes this system. It has room for 3 pistol pouches, and they just slide straight out. Right now I just have 1 pistol in here. This will be fully loaded tomorrow. And as you can see, the compartment is fully rigid. It has a nice structure to it. Okay. So what I like about this is it has room for pistol magazines. This is for my Glock 43X. I have 3 of the 10-round factory magazines, and then I have 1 of the Shield Arms 15-round magazines that I want to test tomorrow. And yes, my pistol magazines are loaded. I do like to load them the night before, and that's just so that I don't have to mess around loading at the range, so I can maximize my time on the bench. We're going to clear another firearm right now. I have my G43. It is unloaded. The magazine is not in there, but we're going to clear it anyhow. So we're completely clear. So this will work with full-size pistols. Anything over, I think, 5 inches in barrel length will be a problem, but I've carried my G45 and my Glock 19 with no issues in this bag, as well as my sigsauer 226 SAO. So very handy to have these, just pull these out. And I like these because you can walk these over to the bench and just lay them down and then uncase at the bench, and you can leave your bag at the bench behind you. All right, on the back side, and this is a really cool feature. I've only had to use it one time. It has a rain fly. And this will actually come out and you can put it over the bag. The range I'm going to, the benches on the back are not fully covered, about half of the table's covered, and it was sprinkling in the winter, either last year or the year before last, and I actually ended up using the rain fly. So kind of a cool feature. You don't have to bring a trash bag or a different rain fly. And in general, I don't think people bring rain flies to cover their bag. And this is another admin compartment. I use it primarily for my tools. So I have a couple of screwdrivers. I have a sight tool for my sights, a couple of pens, a roll of duct tape. There's another pouch in the front. I have a couple of cleaning patches, a bore snake for that looks like a 22 caliber. This works with 223 as well. I've got cleaning cloth for either the optic lenses, and then a number of different sized Allen wrenches. These are super valuable. It looks like a few more screwdrivers in there I don't need to go into. It does come with this nice case. I actually put a couple of different size batteries, so I have AA, AAA, CR123s, and then the 2032 batteries that some of the optics run. And then I've got some tools in there as well. I typically don't use this, but they have a strap here, so if you have the larger paper targets, you can actually roll these up like a map, and you can run them through both of these points. So again, this bag was purpose-built and designed for going to the range. And then, as I mentioned earlier, everything is labeled. As you can see, they actually tell you, hey, this is where your staple gun goes. I've got my old Stanley staple gun from the 70s, my targets. And then recently I ran out of staples, so I had to buy old new stock because apparently the size staples that this used is no longer manufactured. So best way for me to get my targets up, I don't like tape, All right, and then in this pouch I carry a whole bunch of my shooting targets. So I've got a bunch of the shoot and sees. I do keep the empties because I like to redo the dots every once in a while to fix the targets. Looks like I need some new shoot and sees. I carry with me brown paper bags. One of the range officers a while ago showed me how to make a small silhouette target out of these with a pocket knife. These are fantastic. I may show that in a separate video or link you to it. It's just absolutely amazing to save money on targets. I've got, you know, various targets in here. And that's primarily all I use this side pouch for, is just for all my targets. So yeah, it's good that I walked you guys through this because it looks like I need some more shoot and see targets. Maybe I'll pick up some today. All right, guys, I know that this topic is not for everybody, especially my fellow hams, so I do appreciate you hanging in there, but this channel is about being prepared, and part of being prepared is, you know, all aspects of preparation. And I think personal security is one of those, and having the right training and being familiar with your tools is absolutely essential. So be strong, be safe, and be prepared, guys.